A 14-year-old boy is in juvenile detention for the murder of an IU graduate. It happened in a downtown Indianapolis parking garage.
Someone shot 23-year-old Brett Scoggrum around this time last week. It was a crime police and the mayor called a random act of violence. Thanks for joining us tonight at 5. I'm Dustin Grove in for Anne Marie Tiernan.
And I'm Felicia Lawrence. Our Ashton Hackman explains what's next in this case and shares the stern message from IMPD's chief.
23-year-old Brett Scoggrum was on his way to an Indians game when someone shot him inside the parking garage. Officers found him wounded inside a car. He died 2 days later. Police say a 14-year-old pulled the trigger.
Let that sink in. 14 years old and arrested for murder.
IMPD, with the help of U.S. Marshals, tracked the boy to the west side, where he was taken into custody on Wednesday. Police haven't shared why the boy allegedly shot and killed Scoggrum inside this parking garage, but say the two didn't know each other. Detectives used witness statements, other evidence, and security video to help make an arrest.
One young man tragically had his life cut short, and another is going to face lifelong consequences for his actions.
Indiana law allows prosecutors to seek adult charges for some murder cases involving juveniles. But before that can happen, a judge would have to waive the 14-year-old into adult court. Terry says in the last month, police have arrested 4 Indianapolis teens for murder or other gun and violent crimes.
These numbers are startling, but they're more than numbers. They're lives, young lives, that are being forever impacted and changed by short-sighted, impulsive, and reckless decisions.
Kids should not be committing murders.
Reverend Malachi Walker works with Indy's youth. He shares Chief Terry's frustration.
It's our responsibility. Know where your children are. Know where your kids are each and every day.
Chief Terry says parents could be held accountable for crimes committed by their child.
Parenting is not passive. You don't get to just say, oh, my kid's a teenager, they're off doing God knows what. It's your job, it's your responsibility to know what that is.
A responsibility to keep guns out of the hands of teens. In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
And prosecutors say they're working with IMPD to formally charge the 14-year-old. In the meantime, he's being held in juvenile detention.
The Morgan County Sheriff's Office is looking for your help today after somebody broke into several cars. It happened overnight east of Mooresville in the Hadley Road area. Get in touch with the Sheriff's Office if you believe your car was broken into or if you have video of those break-ins.
Tonight we're learning how police were tipped off to thefts in Delaware County totaling more than $200,000.
State police arrested a former EMS employee this week accused of stealing the cash from the county and a high school charity. Now our Brandon Schaff is taking a closer look into the investigation.
Between 2021 and 2026, a former Delaware County EMS employee is accused of defrauding about $223,000 from the county and a high school charity. ISP began investigating in the spring after an anonymous tip from someone familiar with the employee's pay and yearly earnings. State police took over the case, and detectives conducted interviews and looked at financial records.
I was able to determine that she was falsifying overtime records, claiming overtime that she was not approved to work, and that led to, again, thousands of dollars taken away from taxpayers.
The employee was arrested by ISP on Wednesday and faces several preliminary felony charges related to the thefts. A law firm representing Delaware County sent this statement to 13 News. Quote, "We have been made aware that a former employee has been taken into custody. Our organization is fully cooperating with the appropriate authorities, and we remain committed to upholding our policies, ethical standards, and legal responsibilities." According to court documents, the county employee was also treasurer for the Delta High School Girls Golf Team Booster Club. She had access to their debit card, allegedly making these purchases, which were not for the Golf Booster program. By the end of 2025, the account was short by more than $3,800. Police say as a county employee, she claimed and was paid for more than 5,800 hours of unapproved OT, worth about $181,000. She resigned once she was confronted. Additionally, she allegedly transferred at least $14,000 from an account funded by EMS employee donations into her personal bank account.
Every public official that's in their role with the government has the due diligence to use taxpayer monies correctly. And so, again, anybody who does not is not above the law.
In Muncie, Brandon Schaff, 13 News.
Brandon tells us the State Board of Accounts has been made aware of the case, and state police say there are different ways for Delaware County to recover that lost money, possibly through court settlements. We'll continue to follow.
All right, let's take a break from headlines and take a look outside. Some would say it's hot and humid. Some would say warm and comfy.
I would say it is summer in central Indiana.
There we go.
We get some days when it's sunny and 70s and not so humid. We also get days in the 80s and the humidity starts to creep up. That's where we are right now.
Did we see a little haze out there too?
I would say a little bit of haze as well. And that is something that we will continue to see. And we're going to talk more about that haze. Air quality alert for us for the next couple of hours. I've got some tips on ways you can help out. We'll have that for you in just a few minutes. We'll take you into the eastern part of our viewing area where we do have a mix of sun and clouds in Connorsville at this hour. We'll go from Connorsville to Morris Reservoir. Let's choose that one. It would be a good day to be on the water today. Definitely need the sunscreen, definitely needs a hat. Temperatures in the 80s across central Indiana. There's a view in Carmel right now. We're at 81 in Indianapolis. Lafayette and Muncie both at 84. Everybody else in the low 80s, and we're going to stay warm this evening. If you're coming downtown to cheer on our Fever, warm and dry, that is a 7 o'clock tip. Temperatures will be in the upper 70s and low 80s. Not quite as comfortable overnight. We'll be in the 60s, mid 60s at 7 a.m. at 80 midday tomorrow and low to mid 80s for highs. We'll talk about that air quality alert and some storm chances in just a few minutes.
See you then, Angela. We've got breaking news tonight at 5 from Wall Street.
That's where the Dow just closed at an all-time high. We're just getting this in, and it's partly because of falling oil prices. So let's take a look together. The Dow gained nearly 900 points today to close at nearly 51,562 points.
Did you see gas prices went down too?
I have
Under $3 a gallon in Hendricks County.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, not at any of the
Not
places
quite
I saw.
not quite that much of a drop here in Indy.
It's a difference.
Governor Mike Braun says he wants to make Indiana more affordable for families, and he's looking to make some changes when it comes to child care.
So he announced several reforms to the child care system this morning. Ella Rhodes shares the details of his plans and what providers think.
Sheldon Floyd knows how to run an early childhood education center. He also knows it's not easy for parents to afford. But Floyd does not think the governor's affordability reforms on child care businesses will achieve its goal.
That's a great effort, but I don't believe at the end it's going to make child care affordable.
Governor Braun proposed 4 major changes to alleviate administrative burdens for providers, like reduced qualification requirements for teachers and directors. Directors no longer need a college degree, and caregivers just need a high school diploma.
A reduction in the education level of the primary teachers of the children at this level is ridiculous, it's offensive, as well as it's impeding upon the outcomes that we know we can have with children.
The second looks at expenses for equipment. For example, nap time. Children would sleep on mats or in sleeping bags instead of cots. It also reduces record-keeping requirements and allows children to bring lunches, which concerns child care advocate Corey Kearns.
Kids in the areas come to daycare to eat healthy and to be fed. There are kids that, are not fed at home sometimes due to income issues, and child care kind of solves the filling that void.
Kearns and Floyd feel heard but not seen.
Taking educational requirements, you're shifting us back to babysitters instead of professional caregivers, and that's definitely not something we want to do.
They wanted the governor to invite providers to the table to discuss reforms.
The experts are in the building, not in the state capitol.
Worried this will do more harm than good for the next generation of Hoosiers. In Indianapolis, Ella Rhodes, 13 News.
And the governor's office says the changes lower cost and increase flexibility, benefiting more than 2,800 businesses. You can submit public comments on the reforms until July 9th.
Tonight, a major expansion in Carmel. Capital Group, the world's largest active fund manager, is investing $13.5 million at its hub off Meridian Street. With the money comes about 200 new high-paying jobs. Governor Braun announced the expansion today, which should be done by 2028. That's when the company will start hiring.